We are live. Okay. So today, as I've been telling you at the beginning of the week, basically what we are going to do is we are going to reconstruct the template or the matchups for week 14. You noticed in last week we actually did all of that, right? We went through, we gathered the scores, which we have on this spreadsheet here. We gathered the scores, we put them into our main page. So that we could calculate not only the average, but also the weighted average. And we also calculated the median. From that, what we did was take all that information, basically put it on another tab, take all that information, and then put the teams together and match them up to see who would win or lose. Okay? So let's do that right now. So here's what I want you to do. So for the rest of today and tomorrow, you're going to be doing this on your own. I'm going to run through this really quickly. Don't try to follow me unless you're really, really fast. So watch what I do. We're going to break up into two groups. And I'm going to make those groups myself. So yeah. You know, we're all family. We're all eventually going to be family. So, you know, we're going to be working in groups a lot. So I want to get that started as well. All right. So here's what you do. Here's how you do it. This is week 13, right? This is what we just did. Okay. Here are our scores that we wanted. G Money, are you paying attention?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. Here is the thing. So here's where we collected the scores. We did all the matchups. Everything's here. Oh, wait. Ooh. What was the score of the Washington-Dallas game?
19. That was a good game.
Oh, wait. 19. Yeah, it was. And we predicted it was close, too, didn't we? Actually, this one predicted it was a tie. Actually, while you're right down here, let's give this, I don't think this is necessarily let's not make this 7. I think this is kind of half and half. So put this one 6.5, and then we'll make this 9.5. I love how that worked out. They all work out just a little different. The sad part is the weighted average is like the worst. I spent all that time doing it. It probably doesn't mean anything. And that's what happens in statistics. Okay, so here's what we're going to do is I want this. First off, let's get rid of this, the fill here. When we inserted our column, it put this in. So what I'm going to do is, so when you do this, you're going to get rid of the fill. You can do that now if you want. Go to your paint can, go no fill. Okay, now watch what I'm going to do. Remember, this is recorded, so later tonight, if you don't get it, you can figure it out. I'm going to select my scores for week 13 and all my teams. Those two columns. Remember, Control-C to select just those two columns. Or Control and then Control-C to copy them. I then I'm going to make a new one, so this will be week 14. Put this up there. Let's go, I usually go out to about something's hidden here, I'm going to unhide this. I'm going to paste my teams here to the side. Oh, wait. I'm not on the main page, never mind. Sorry. Go to the main page. Here's our teams. We have to calculate all our averages, medians, and weighted average first. So I'm going to paste. If you paste and you end up with, say, error bars or some numbers that don't look right, instead of pasting everything, Control-V, always go to Paste Special and then just do values. That's a good way to do that. All right, if we notice over here, these values, all our teams are alphabetical. We need to put them in that order in order to insert it into our template. So I go up to the top here, and I sort ascending. Bam! Science! I kind of look over to make sure everything's lining up. Okay, Arizona on top. I look at the bottom, Washington. I think that's good. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to copy these scores that we calculated or we put in. Then I'm going to go all the way to week 13, highlight that column, and hit Control V. So our first team is Arizona. Their game against whoever they played was 27-3. I can look that up to make sure. And that's kind of what you should do, is just make sure everything works out. Like I remember Denver because I watched that game. Their Denver defense let, who were they playing? Was it San Diego? Yeah, San Diego, 3 points. Their offense scored 17. I remember that game. This is correct. Then I'm going to go over to my averages column. This is where we're computing the average. I've extended this just one more. Actually, so it's going to say S3. Don't do that because it messes it up. It goes all the way to column O. This is our last variable that we're using. So I'm going to change the S to an O. I hit return. And then because who wants to do that for every one of these? Not I. I'm going to drag that function. So you can see that I put my cursor right in the corner of that and drag it through. You should see all the numbers change. Did it change? That's right. 05, yeah. Okay. I think it was because we had all the columns highlighted, but it's working. If you ever don't if you want to make sure that what you did was correct, just do the average. Take all of these divided by, actually we're including this one, so divided by 14, and if you don't come up with this number using a calculator, then somewhere your formula's wrong. Again, go to medians as well and change the S to an O. Drag it all the way down. Okay. Here's where it gets a little tricky. Now we're going to weighted average. Okay, we're at week 13. Basically, what we're wanting is to take this number times all the numbers that we calculated over there. The easy way to do this is just to take these formulas and transfer them over to the next column. So I highlight all the weighted averages or the weighted values here. I drag it to the right. Oh wait, it already did it for week 13. Never mind. Yeah. Duh. Okay, so the formula should be in there. So again, remember, Arizona, whoever they played, I can't remember, they beat them by 3 to 27. We're taking this number times those values. That's where we're getting that. If I look here, my average, I want this to go all the way out to J. So I'm going to change that I to a J. Hit return. Okay, it's 1.03, so now we have to change this. I have to put I'm going to have to extend this out one more. So I'm going to put a 0.65. And you'll see it change. When it gets to 0.95, when you see that one, put a 0.95. I'll explain this later, I'm sorry. 1.3, this has got to be 1.05. What I'm doing is I'm basically balancing it out so that these top numbers are evenly distributed on each side of the mean. Okay, so if we look at our weighted average, now it actually equals 1. I'm going to drag this all the way down. And now I'm done. Now the next step is to take all this, basically to take our weighted average, which is here in this far column, our median, there we are. Whoa, where am I? median and averages, and establish our, basically take those, copy them, and put them on tab 14. So I think for today, just make sure you get this done for sure. We're going to work on this tomorrow as well. Any questions so far? Okay,